shooters, loaders, and casters, welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live stream. This is where I usually say, CW, how was your week? But apparently he got a better offer. So tonight we're going to say, Mama Dad, how was your week?
It was good. It was good. Looks like the shingles are off my roof.
Good.
I wasn't suffering with that anymore this week.
Good deal.
But got a little bit of stuff done. Got some casting done, and found out that I had lost some parts to my 750, so I haven't loaded any 9mm yet. But other than that, had a good week. How about you, Rebel?
Oh, pretty good week. Slowing down a little bit, but we're gearing up for the groundhog shoot. I bought a, or traded for a Savage long range precision rifle that Jamie's kind of lusting over. Custom barrel. Got the original barrel. And then I traded for, or I just direct bought, a K98 Mauser in pristine condition with all matching numbers. Good wood, great bore. Check the bore out. The bore is just shiny, nice, no erosion in the throat. I'm like, man, this thing must have been that guy off of Hogan's Heroes gun. You know, it wasn't ever shot. And then the guy had a Savage. Yeah, Sergeant Schultz. This guy had a F-class Savage in 6.5 284. I told him, I said, before I give you a price, I'm going to open it up, look at the bolt face. I looked at the bolt face. Wasn't hardly no ring around the firing pin hole. So I just went ahead, gave him a price. He said, yeah, that sounds good to me. And we took his information down and made a copy of his license, and out the door he went. We got a good price on that thing. And I checked the throat because the 6.5 284 it's barrel burner. And the throat's pristine. The guy must have not have shot it more than a few times. So we made some good trades today. Didn't make a lot of money, but we made some good trades. That's money in the future. You know what I mean? Six, how about you? Well, you shifted on me. Go wherever you want. Kyle, how about you?
I'm doing great. Had a great couple of days off. Spent a lot of good quality time with my wife. Everything's going good at work. We're not in the middle of our super flash sale like we were last weekend, and I actually got me an old man nap today, so I'm in good shape. What about you, Walter?
Had a pretty good week. It's been hot here on the Central Coast of California. We've had all week been in the mid to high 90s, and that has never happened in the 40-some years that I've lived here for this time of year. And, you know, our hottest month is typically August, and we might get 1 or 2 days up in the high 90s, but it's been 90s all week. So we don't know how to act. We don't have clothes for that. And I mean, you can only take so much off, and none of us have air conditioning over here on the coast. So it's been almost too hot to be out in the garage doing any fun stuff. But I did manage to get a little over 400 rounds of some 40 short and weak loaded up this afternoon. Some old plated bullets that I've had sitting around forever. I said, time to go shoot those up. So I got some range fodder put together today, and spent some time with some friends during the week this week, and just kind of, you know, I was going to say just sort of chilled out, but that wasn't the fact. Had the fans going all week long, but yeah, decent week for me. I'll put it that way, other than the heat. Okay, Six, you're on, buddy.
And you're still muted, bud.
Oh yeah, it was music button. Yeah, I had a good week. It was Saturday. We cowboy shot. I did pretty good on quite a few stages. Wife was doing pretty good. Mail service. I had bad mail service this week. I've had packages that were in Houston, ready to go on the truck, end up in Oklahoma the next day somehow or another. One package went from Indiana to Arizona and spent a week over there.
Must be something in the air. I had a postal
That-
service thing today too.
That's my daily life with FedEx. I mean, I don't understand, why it goes way over here to get way over here.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean, it was one of them, like I said, UPS, and it was ready to be put on the truck and be delivered to me, and somehow I ended up in Oklahoma.
Mm. Mm.
But
It's something from outer space or something, and we got goofy weather, and the postal carriers or even the private ones are all screwed up.
yeah,
It's Iranian drones, man. It's
That must be
Iranian
it.
drones. Yeah, that's
Uh,
it.
how about you, Jamie?
Let's see what Hillbilly got to say. How was your week, bro?
Hillbilly popped in on us.
Hey, everybody. Oh, man, sir, I'm late. We was getting dinner ready. And anyway, yeah, it's been a good week. Temperatures got back up to warm the last few days and just enjoying life. Yeah, just ready to do some more videos. No doubt about that.
buy that high point. Just buy it.
Oh, man, I know. It's like, man, I'm really on the fence with that thing. So.
Hold on a
You
minute.
people-
Doggone, I never seen. You must have got a new razor, Hillbilly.
A new what?
You must
Oh,
have
yeah,
got a new razor.
Yeah. Hey, it's it warmed up, so.
Well, there you go.
Next video from Hillbilly is one of those where his wife's crying because he shaved his beard.
And drinking a White Claw.
How about you, Jamie?
Mm.
What you got? How'd your week go, buddy?
I finally got that mold in. Y'all talking about the postal service? I ordered that mold the night that the very same night that Tommy Boy told us he helped design that mold, and it was stuck in Atlanta for 2 weeks. Kid you not, just sitting down there. Well, obviously it wasn't just sitting down there because when I finally got it, the thing was torn. So that's bad. But y'all don't tell my wife, but I took the day off today and went to the range.
Nice, nice.
How was work, honey? Oh, terrible, terrible. Loud.
Terrible day.
It's just terrible.
You wouldn't believe it if I told you.
It was so noisy.
Oh, Jamie, I didn't. Jamie, I didn't tell you. I was just about ready to call up Krieger and say, "Hey, what's the status of my barrel?" I got an email yesterday. It's in ship, and I got a tracking number. So,
Oh snap! And this is
I told this is going to be
222.
it's going to be a 222 24-inch 12 twist in a Model 7 action. So right now the action's being trued by a friend of mine, and he's going to barrel it for me. And he told me, he said, there's a very well-known local guy around here within 50 miles that it just kicked everybody's butt and UBR this year, which is for those uninitiated, that's universal bench rest. It's trying to get more people to shoot bench rest, and it's a really fun game. And he's wanting a 222 built, and he called Todd, and Todd said, "Well, don't even bring me the stuff." He said, "I got a little chamber job to do, and I got Mike Hester's 222 to build Action to True." And he said, "I'll get to you next." So I'm a little bit more important. The friendship, I'm a little bit more important than the great shooter. You know, I'll be ticked off if he caves in and puts him before me. But Todd's a good guy. He knows what he's doing. He plays with a lot of Wildcats. I would too if I had a lathe, you know. So I can't wait to get that little rifle together. I'm not going to even thread the barrel. What's the use of suppressing a 222? I mean, it's already quiet. So
Yeah, it's going to change your point of impact too. Not that it'll hurt accuracy, but it'll change point of impact.
Yeah, it will. It will. Which I can adjust for that, but I just said I want a 24-inch finished barrel. I want to get all the velocity I can out of it. I definitely ain't gonna hang a can off a 24-inch barrel. Well, that's just too awkward to get out of the truck window. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Me and CW were talking about those Thompson Center Pro Hunters, Encore Pro Hunters. And I've been trying to come up with another 350 Legend other than my AR platform because I shot that 350 today, and it's a lot better. It's a lot better. I got a Trigger Tech trigger in it, and of course I got that Arkin EP8 on there, and I had to shoot it at 50 yards because after I'd shot that 6.5 Creedmoor with 35 power magnification, I couldn't hardly see a target.
Right.
At 100 yards with just 8 power. So next time I'll shoot the 350 first.
That's a perfect hunting power, though. I mean, what you got?
Yeah, it is. It is. No, Bull, I don't need no BFR, brother. What we were talking about is, and what made me bring it up is, I was really interested in the whole concept of Thompson Center, being able to buy and swap barrels and all that kind of stuff. But them barrels are expensive, and the barrel that they had on EA Brown was 26-inch barrel. And I'm like, I don't need no 26-inch barrel for 350 Legend, do I? I said, that's going to look awkward. And then we got talking. I mean, I know it's a short gun and all, but still, a 26-inch barrel for a 350 Legend, that looks like you're almost going too long, as far as, creating drag.
You're not. You'll pick up speed. That drag stuff only happens with 22 LR, man. Center fire. Oh yeah, I know so. 22 LR. Yeah, you'll get some drag, but 350 Legend, no, you'll pick up. What's your AR barrel length? 18. Lord,
And It
You'll
comes
pick-
from me, Arthur Brown. It's
Yeah,
it's a Shaw accuracy barrel.
you might pick up a couple 100 feet per second.
Maybe.
I mean, that's pretty efficient cartridge. So
Go ahead, Six.
I was say you use some slower powder, you'll pick up speed.
The loads I shot today were 296.
that's my go-to 300 blackout powder. I like 296.
And once upon a time, I had some data for 1680.
That 1680 turns into a wonderful powder as long as it's supersonic and compressed. It loves to be compressed. It's unlike most powders. So if you squeeze a little bit, you can get some pretty good velocities out of it. I use it for 300 blackout, 125 or above, or over 125. So I shoot 150 gold dots and a 300 blackout for a hunt load, and I use 1680, and it's totally different when you use it subsonic. You look down your barrel and it looks like my driveway, gravel, and you shoot it supersonic, it turns into a whole different powder.
1680.
Yes, sir. Really changes personalities. So,
Well, if y'all read the description, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of 22 rimfire tonight, from what I can find out, and it may not take that long. There's Christian Grest.
Hey, Christian, prayers for your lovely wife, buddy.
Oh no, I didn't know. Didn't know anything was going on.
we need to have amongst ourselves, at least us, we need to have I know Jamie's got a pretty good email list, but when someone finds out one of our group is going through some troubles, we need to do an email blast and have a prayer group for it. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh. Walter.
Oh, I see.
Already?
Count it down, Walter.
Are we ready?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I got an issue going here. Hang on. All right. Sorry, guys. I had opened up another one. All right, here we go. Everybody ready? On 3, 2, 1. Hey, Marco, you West Coast weirdo.
Battle bean.
Yeah, good to see you,
His
Mario.
own self is right here.
The man,
See
the
Mario.
myth, the legend.
You got any heat over your way, Mario? If not, we got it all over here.
We don't have y'all's kind of heat, Viejo, but we're warming up. We had a couple cold days and we're warming up.
We're supposed to
Usually
set
when
a
I get
record
this kind of heat
tomorrow.
over here, it's a little cooler over in Bakersfield where Mario is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're expecting 82 tomorrow, 84 on Sunday.
Yep.
You know, as long as your humidity doesn't get up too high, that's bearable.
It's nice in March and early April. In June, 82 can seem oppressive.
I can imagine.
In Georgia and North Carolina. I mean,
that's putting it lightly, brother.
yeah, you catch a catfish and you just let him loose in the air and he just swims off.
We're supposed to hit 88 tomorrow.
Yeah, I love the old saying. So what'd you do yesterday? Well, I took my fish for a walk.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
There he is.
There's the Scotsman.
What's up?
Hey, Scotsman. Hey, CW. How was your week, brother?
CW.
Hey,
Very good.
Brian, what's happening, man?
I'm doing good. Sorry for the delay. My girlfriend got some bad news. Her mom went in the hospital today, so she was kind of a little distraught. So
Yeah.
I was just being a good boyfriend, being there for her. So she's
You're a good man.
headed home.
The good, mature boyfriend. Yeah, there you go.
Nothing I can do, but I can be here. I can listen.
You can be there. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Be a shoulder to lean on.
So
There's my brother, the crazy Scotsman.
Yeah.
I got to call you in the morning, bud. If I ain't called you by about 11 o'clock, you might want to call me. I got news, man. Anyhow, I digress. So I hate that. I hate her mom's in the hospital. And,
well, hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it's just 87-year-old with getting older. But you never know.
Yeah,
Well-
that's right. I mean, Chuck Norris died yesterday. I mean, my God. Yeah, I called my dad. He didn't answer the phone. I'm sure he's probably with his wife who's in poor health, but I left him a message. I said, hey, Pop, you outlived Chuck Norris. Because they're the same age, And I'm sure he won't find it funny. My dad's pretty liberal, and I'm the mailman's kid, the milkman's kid. I'm the conservative butthole in the crowd. So, but he did outlive Chuck Norris, and
I heard that Chuck Norris was so tough that he went down and kicked the crap out of the devil first, and then went on up to heaven.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
and
There was all kinds of memes today.
yeah,
Yeah.
Did he pass away yesterday or today?
Actually, yesterday.
actually yesterday, and
Hawaiian time. So it's today here, but yesterday in
Right.
Hawaii.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
yeah, Trent told me, he said, well, the devil can stop looking under his bed now. And I went, I looked at him. I said, what do you mean? He said, Chuck Norris passed away. I said, God Almighty. I said, I thought that man was immortal. And
I had just read this morning at about 9:15 that he went into the hospital with some complications. And of course, everybody in the comments rearranged the words and said the hospital had complications with Chuck Norris. There, I fixed it for you. That kind of stuff.
right.
That was in the news yesterday.
Yeah. Then I found out. I found out at about 10:30. My produce manager come to me and said, "Man, Chuck Norris is dead." I was like, "Dude, what? I just read that he went to the hospital."
Well, it couldn't have been from a king cobra bite, because the king cobra, after three agonizing days, that king cobra died. That man was a tough dude. He was the real deal.
Yeah, you talk about a legend,
Yeah, he is a legend.
But yeah, y'all are correct. The internet was alive today with Chuck Norris stuff.
Oh yeah, everybody
Oh, yeah.
trying to post a picture that they took a picture of him, with him. Everybody posted it.
Well, when I was in martial arts, he was my idol. I didn't do his style, but his power, just his power when he fought was just so prevalent. It gave a young man inspiration. I want that kind of. you know, and Bruce Lee picked him for the movie because he could do project power and had enough control that they could do a fight and not hurt one another. And I always thought that the whole scene about Bruce Lee grabbing hold of his chest hair and ripping it off and going like that was just so cool, you know. Yeah, it was very cool. But
Something would have killed him.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Lee was pretty badass. So
I got news for everybody. Chuck Norris didn't die. He told death he was coming.
yeah, right. Yeah,
Chuck Norris
Right.
didn't die. He just evolved.
right. Exactly.
All right. I was going to get into some 22 history, but it's time to call out the side chat now. So, what we're going to type in, Walter?
22 LR.
I thought we were gonna do Chuck.
Yeah.
Either one will work.
Yeah. Put in Chuck if you want to put in Chuck. He deserves it.
And we're off the page. Let me catch up. All right, so Bama Dad was in first. Walter Viejo was, both of those two are on the panel and in the side chat. Next is Paul Loud, Crash Rack and Shoot. Mayamoto. I hope I said that right. Christian Grest. Good to see you out there, bud. 6-shooter Texans on the panel and in the side chat. There's our buddy Andy 79Z28. IWS Bull is out there. So is my buddy Ricky Baird. Last of three, Mike the Rebel Hester is on the panel as well. Paul Loud again. Ron 2A Matters. Dwayne 7834. Hillbilly Up is on the panel this evening with us. I'm glad to have him. James Pollard. What's going on, Mr. Pollard? Alaska 1 Andy. Ricky Baird. Edward Petty. Abigail Finnegan. Welcome in, lady.
Hello, Abby.
CW is out there and on the panel. Good to have him with us. 01 guy. Mark Thomas. The crazy Scotsman, Papa's Place, Rollis Carvelis, Kyle Lusk is on the panel and in the side chat.
Yeah, my phone's acting goofy. Sorry.
And Glenn Davis. And I hope that. So, Mayamoto, did I pronounce it right? You're golden, Glenn. Don't worry about that. All right. So here's the thing. What you think of as 22 rimfire goes way back. Way back. I'm starting to sound like a football coach. 1, 2, way back. Oh, my back. Yeah. Once upon a time, there was this French dude named Louis Nicolas Flaubert. Flaubert. Invented the first rimfire metallic cartridge in 1845. His cartridge consisted of a percussion cap with a bullet attached to the top.
A ball, actually.
It was called a parlor gun. and it was designed to shoot indoors, obviously. And usually derived in the 6mm and 9mm calibers. It is since then called the Flowbay cartridge.
That's a long name.
But it does not contain any powder, only the propellant substance contained in the cartridge is within the percussion cap. In Europe, the 22 BB cap and the 22 CB cap are both called 6mm Flowbay and
You can buy them today.
and are considered the same cartridge. And
They come in a little plastic round, almost looks like a pellet tin, but it's plastic. And you can get BBs and CBs.
you mean like that?
Yep. Little acorn on the base.
And calling it 6mm is a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, these were made in Germany. And let me find another one.
Seen old advertisements of them with a man and a woman standing in front of their fireplace, holding court with other people, shooting in their living room with those. There were drawings, of course, but
Okay, this is the CB. This is a short, and that's a 22 long rifle. So you can see that a 22 short was a substantial increase in velocity and speed from the BB and the CB. Let me.
No, it was nothing.
Compared to that, it should be the 22 Magnum instead of long rifle.
Well,
Man, big size difference. That really surprises me. Even smaller than the short.
oh yeah,
yeah, a lot smaller.
22 shorts are great.
what the heck?
It looked like a
was that?
starting pistol load with a projectile on it.
Well, it's just the there's no powder in it. The bullet weighed 18 grains, and apparently in the CB they put a little bit of powder in it because it's 953 feet per second, and I'm thinking the BB cap was 780 feet per second. I don't believe neither one of
I don't either.
them. Just
Well,
don't.
to this day, CCI makes a CB long, and it's 780 feet per second. A CB long. My buddies killed everything from cats to deer with that thing. And a JC Higgins rifle. So I swear he could shoot around trees. I shouldn't have said cat, should have.
Okay.
Feral felines.
Okay, so those led to the 22 short. The 22 short is a variety of rimfire ammunition developed in 1857 for the first Smith & Wesson revolver. Y'all remember those, the number ones?
Yes, sir.
We did a lot of talk about that. Original loading was a 29 or 30 grain bullet and 4 grains of black powder. The original 22 rimfire cartridge was renamed 22 short with the introduction of the 22 long in 1871. So in 1871, when it was loaded with a 29 grain bullet and 5 grains of black powder, 25% more than the 22 short on which it was based. It was designed for use in revolvers, but was soon chambered in rifles as well, in which it gained a reputation as a small game cartridge. But in 1887, the 22 long case was combined with the heavier 40 grain bullet of the 22 extra long of 1880 to produce the 22 long rifle. And I can't tell much difference. I guess they're all 22 long rifle. I'm looking for a picture for y'all.
The modern 22 short hollow point was my mentor's choice for hunting frogs, for frog legs, because that hollow point would blow them back up on the bank. They wouldn't swim off. We didn't use gigs up here.
Watch this, y'all. This'll do it. Rebel, right there it is. 22 short hollow point.
There you go. I got my box of those.
Yep, me too.
That's a 22 long rifle. And then that's a 22 Magnum, Winchester Magnum. And then I hope Ricky Baird's watching. That's a 22 Hornet right there.
A Coke bottle round. Yeah, there you go. There's some rat shot.
Yeah.
And don't ask me why. You could chop a snake's head off with a hoe, and that sucker will wiggle for 30 minutes. Yeah. And you shoot him with a rat shot, and he dies right there. Ain't no wiggle there.
This is interesting. Look at this picture.
That's an Aguila round right there.
That's a sniper subsonic.
Yep, SSS Super Sniper.
Yeah.
That's apparently a 22 short case. And that's a 22 long rifle on the left for comparison.
CW just did a video on those.
Yep. I built a gun for that.
He said, I know exactly what that is.
Yep.
So, J. Stevens Arms and Tool Company introduced the 22 long rifle cartridge in 1887. And of course, we've talked about its origin being the 22 BB cap and the 22 short. And apparently somewhere there's a 22 extra long.
There's a 22 Winchester. There's a couple of strange ones.
Yeah.
22 auto, 22 Winchester, 22 extra long.
There was a forerunner to the Magnum, which was WMR, I think.
Yep. Winchester WRF, Winchester Rimfire.
WRF. That's very, very, very true. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's still around. You can still buy. Well, they do it Winchester and CCI like once a year or every other year. I've got a crack shot on the wall over here that my grandfather played with as a boy. It says 22 on it. It's before the long rifle.
That is cool.
Yeah. Of course, I can't show it to you guys, but because YouTube won't let us handle firearms. But it's pretty neat. The barrel is it's pretty black inside. Outside it's pretty good shape. Pretty good shape. But inside the barrel is. I have shot it, but it's not accurate, and you can only shoot like longs in it. It's not considered safe for even long rifle.
I've got a couple of antiques at the shop. One's a 1890 Winchester pump, 22 short, and one's a Remington pump and the WRF or whatever you said, CW, the forerunner of the Magnum.
Yep.
Really nice rifles.
Tommy Boy wants to know if your mold came in, Jamie.
It did finally. Y'all want to see it?
Yes.
Mold porn.
Tommy Boy, it got stuck in Atlanta for 2 weeks, brother.
It's kind of one of them kind of just drive over and pick it up.
Yeah. Well, that distribution center's on the south side down below the airport. I don't think none of us want to go down there.
You ain't wrong.
This is obviously old stock.
Almost focused.
Yeah. See how it's got dust in there? I ain't never had a mold from NOE dusty like that.
That's pretty. Oh, nice.
That'll work.
I think that's going to work pretty good.
Nice looking bullet.
I hope it'll be
180 grains,
190 grain,
190 grains.
357. So I hope it does, Tommy Boy. This one's do a cleaning. I don't think it's been. I
You
don't
got
think
it from NOE, James?
Yes, NOE. I don't think it's been used or nothing. I just think it got dusty and they shipped some of that Utah dust over here to Georgia. I don't know if we can stand that.
Dang it.
Let me tell y'all something. It does my heart good to see Al and the guys back making molds again.
Yes, sir.
Glenn Davis wants to see it again. I ain't gonna show it again, Glenn. I want you to do a frame capture or whatever you got to do, man. I just got the rubber band back around it and it put in the box. I look up. He said, "Hey, let me see that again." Of course, first thing I got to do is the sprue plates from NOE. Only ones that come close to that is MP. Of course, those are the only two molds I've had except the Lee. There you go. Let me make my picture bigger again. There you go, Glenn. Don't that pretty?
What'd you say the grain was on it? 180?
190.
90.
I don't think it's a gas check. Yeah, maybe it is. It is. Let me look at the. 4-cavity gas check. Well, I'm glad I got some 38 caliber gas checks the other week. I need to turn around and order another 1,000 of them suckers.
They're not getting any cheaper either. They're going up and up and up.
I know, man. All right. What'd you think, Glenn? You gonna order you one? They still got a few of them, but it is good to see Al and them making.
That's a little too heavy for a 38, isn't it?
For a 38 Smith & Wesson special, yes.
Guess I need to buy me another gun.
Well, this was designed for 350 Legend, but I'm pretty sure it'd work good in your 357 Magnum. It may be too long.
Yeah, it looked a little long.
Be good for 357 mics.
That's a fact. I'm gonna have to make you some and send them to you. If I ever get a day where I can actually sit down and cast. That would be great, Glenn.
Yeah, somebody was, I think, taking it over, but I don't know who it was.
I've got 2 NOE molds, and I love them. The craftsmanship is fantastic.
I've got
I've got several of them as well, and a couple of them that I use quite a bit are really good.
That's true, Tommy boy. We were just talking about that.
And Abigail's not wrong either.
$11 by $59R. I don't know what that means. Oh, for a fusel grass. Cross. Yeah, it might be a good bullet for that, Justin.
$11's around 45, ain't it?
I don't know.
Tommy boy, Chuck Norris didn't pass. He just extended his game to eternity.
Abigail said that's a French black powder cartridge. That would be why I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I think it's like 45 by 59, which is potent. That's potent.
It's also why nobody can say it.
Right. The 11 by 50 something, bonjour. Yeah.
Bonjour. Oui.
11 millimeters would be a little less than 45, maybe.
Yeah, she
Like
said
a
446.
Something like that.
Yeah, she said 446.
0.429.
Yeah.
No, 11 millimeters is a little bit bigger than 3/8.
That's right. She did say 0.446.
That is pretty interesting.
Yeah, just because it's called 11 millimeter don't mean the bullet's 11 millimeter.
Right. It's bigger than that, most likely.
Yeah, mine was 38 special, 0.357, right?
Right.
Jamie, I found another box of projectiles for you.
Keep on finding them, man. I'm going to have to come down there and get them.
6.5 ballistic tip. I can't remember the weight on them.
Abigail, are you reloading for that, or? Which that would be interesting.
Well, if it's black powder, it may not be a cartridge.
Well, 4198 will be your friend if you are reloading for that.
It's black powder.
Yeah, 4198 pretty much duplicate black powder, not grain for grain, but low pressure.
Says 11.3 millimeters, 44.
Trail Boss would be great but it's unavailable. That and 10 Star.
No, Trail Boss is about 11 feet that way.
Yeah.
I thought Hodgson bought Trail Boss and was bringing it back.
Hodgkin always had Trail Boss, and they're supposed to bring it back, but the donuts have not appeared yet.
Well, it was out there for a little while. I guess they
It
sold
was.
it all out.
Yeah, I bought
Yeah.
a half a dozen. I bought like 4 or 5 pounds.
A bunch of guys I shoe whip bought it.
Yeah, it was here for a while. They got a shipment in and sold it out right off.
They paid for it too, is what I heard.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Yeah, we've been paying for powder, big prices anyway for the last 5 years, seems like.
Yeah, everybody has. East Coast, 43.50. You're talking about almost $60 some a pound, and yeah.
Yeah, I paid about $55 a couple weeks ago when I was over in Arizona. I went into the Dillon store there, and they had a few powders. One that I'd been looking for, which is Vitavery N330, and they had 1 pound for $54. And I bought it. Didn't have to pay hazmat.
Yeah, you saved yourself some money just on the hazmat.
Looks like
and that's pretty much the going rate for it anyway. But.
Yeah, that looks like a blown up 30 cartridge, doesn't it?
Ain't that what's that one, Martini?
No, that's the 11 by 59.5.
No, I'm saying it looks kind of like a martini, don't it?
It does. It really does. That long neck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the patience to load for that. I watched Iraq veteran 88. It took him like 25 minutes to load 3 rounds. I'm like, good God.
All right.
What was that, Jamie? What that round could do to a Iranian missile base?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
I hear Iran doesn't have a whole lot of those left.
We'll see. That's interesting, Abigail. Very interesting.
Tommy boy, tell me this about that. I believe that Shooter's World Buffalo rifle and 5744 is the exact same powder.
Well, I was reading, they say that Tight Group is a substitute for Trail Boss. Is that true?
What is?
No,
Negative.
No,
it's a powder that you can use in the same cartridges that you use Trail Boss, but it's
right.
Yeah.
it's not a substitute. What
You don't get
the
the
good thing about it
case
is
filled.
Take a couple pinches of tight.
it's very small amount of powder. It's actually the opposite, but it's not case position sensitive.
Right.
That's what the claim to fame is.
Yeah.
So you get
right.
a little bitty flash in a big case, and it doesn't seem to make a difference.
Right.
You
Where
can
some
make
powders, it
you
makes a
can
big
make
difference.
subsonic 223s with tight group. I've done it,
Which
and there's very little powder in there.
trail,
I'm not going to give the recipe, but
trail,
very
trail
little.
balls, trail balls will fill the case and still be subsonic, you know. So
Yeah, I like Trail Boss. I've used it in a lot of loads.
Yeah, Trail
Oh,
Boss is
God,
like big Cheerios. They look like Cheerios. They're big,
Yep.
big giant flakes.
Do not
Yeah,
crush
not-
the donuts.
do
Don't
not
crush
crush
donuts,
the
right?
donut. Yeah, exactly.
And yes, Paul, you are correct. Tight group has a very small loading window.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's
really?
like 3
Depends on
point.
which way you-
Yeah,
depends on which way you're going.
3.2 to 3.3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that tight, but it's really tight.
Yeah, right, it's tight.
I just tried some in the 45 Colt, and I was amazed at the consistency I got with velocity. It was
That's
really really
interesting.
impressive.
With a 45 Colt, what was it, like 3.2 grains?
No, I was up there. I was five
Yeah.
something,
I'd say 5.
Yeah.
I shot it in 45 Colt.
five something.
You got to
Yeah,
remember,
and it,
Kyle, that's a big ass case and a big
Well, that's
ass
true.
bullet.
280 grain cast bullet, and in the 18-inch barrel, it was within about 5 feet per second of a 920
Yeah.
for like
But
a
it does
dozen.
have kind of a narrow window. Well, not just, but I loaded some wad cutters in 357, some plated 148 grain wad cutters, and the window there for tight group was, I'm gonna say, I think 3 to 3.3. That was your window.
Yeah. You got to have a very accurate powder measure.
That's the book loads, because I go below that,
Yeah,
Right.
way below that,
with a wad cutter.
I've had
for just about anything.
Wad cutter. That was a flush mounted, flush loaded
Yeah.
wad cutters. There's not a whole lot of room left underneath there. It eats up a lot of the case volume. But
I've had to school people on Unique, because Unique's been unavailable for so long. A lot of people are getting their grandpa's bottle of Unique, and hey, I understand this is really good for blah blah blah, 45 Colt, whatever. I was like, look, you can go from hero to zero real quick with Unique. I said it's exponential. So if you go a half grain up, it's not necessarily a half grain. You know what I mean? It's the pressure increases incrementally, and you really need to be careful with it. And new reloaders have a hard time with that concept. Different powders, how they act, how they react. Where we are, all these guys on this panel are very familiar with that, and you got to be careful the advice you give a new reloader. I just stuck it full of Unique and go. Well, they can split a case, blow themselves up real quick.
I've seen people get discouraged with lower volume charges of Unique because it tends to be so sooty. And so they say, well, I just need to put more powder in it. And I say, well, look at your velocities and pay attention to what's going on with your case mouth and the other end, and just because you got sooty cases doesn't mean it's a bad load. If it's shooting good, then wash your cases.
Yeah. Hey, Walter, look at this. I don't have to deprime this brass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, primer's on the ground somewhere.
It's not about how dirty it is; it's how it smells. It's like it's just such a fragrant powder. I love Unique.
It's like a fine wine.
It is. It is.
I'm trying to find out where Lovex is, Glenn. Let me just go get a box of get a thing of their powder, and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I think they were on on the money there a little bit earlier. Czechoslovakia.
Shooter's World is supposed to send me some powder and prizes for the groundhog shoot. They emailed me back and said they would. They haven't shown up yet. I hope they come through because that's hard powder to get right now. You know.
I'm glad I bought it when I did. I've got blackout, heavy pistol, clean shot. A couple more. I've got almost the whole selection for what I load for. So
I got some precision. Is what I've got.
Yeah, they're
I've only
precision
got a
rifle.
couple of
Yeah.
them, but
Which is
I got lots of unique though.
Yeah, Lubbock's is Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And I think Vitabori is
Finland.
Yep.
Finland.
Everything in our little hobby, gentlemen, is extremely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and with this Iran conflict going on, I don't expect it to come down or to even be available that much.
I had to buy a bag of shot the other day.
Ouch.
I'm just thankful that I bought powder and primers and everything. Everybody thought I was crazy when I was spending every extra nickel that I had on powders and primers. And I haven't bought powder or primers in probably 5 to 8 years. And I've still got more than most people would think a sane person should have.
I spent almost $3,500 when Clinton went into office because I was certain that was going to be the end, and I bought powder and primers.
Yeah.
The only things I couldn't make.
I made an order from what is that? They pull all the bullets and send the bullets and the powder and all that. American Reloading. Me and a couple of friends got together and made an order, and next thing I know, a 18-wheeler's in front of my house, and he goes, "Where's your forklift?" I'm like, "Do I look like I have a forklift?" He said, "All this stuff's on pallets." And I was like, okay, come on, boys. I made just a couple of phone calls and said, "Come on, let's unload this truck." We were taking 5-gallon buckets of powder and boxes of bullets off the back of this truck.
I went to Cabela's.
I was fortunate enough to go in every 2 weeks when I had a paycheck and buy either 2,000 primers or, a few pounds of powder, and back when it was cheap.
Yeah,
And
good old days.
then I ended up buying the store.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
They-
Said, here, I'll trade you all these primers and powders for your store.
No,
Then you go in the store and the store's full of powders and primers.
right.
Yeah, I've been, through more than one powder and primer shortage, and after the first time, which was quite a long time ago, I vowed to never run out of anything again, and I haven't. I keep well stocked. Let's put it that way.
But to bring it back to 22, such a handy round, and if we get into prepper stuff, you can't have enough 22 ammo. And you could feed your family with a 22 long rifle
All day.
Deer, squirrel, rabbit. I could get into other animals, but you Yankees probably wouldn't like to eat what we're willing to eat.
I just wish it was still $9 for a 550 brick.
I know. Tell me about it. But the other thing is 22 bench rests, like Hillbilly and Kentucky's into. You think centerfire bench rest is expensive with all the tools and precise equipment that folks buy, and my partner just bought a auto trickler, so he's trickling powder, and he can measure 1 grain of powder exactly what it weighs. That's $1,000. Okay, but once he gets it calibrated and he's loading, he leaves the tray up there, and it spits out a load of powder to the hundredth of a grain, and it's ready for him. It's like a third hand, and he was very reluctant to tell me about it because he thought I'd make fun of him. And when he finally spit it out that he had one, I'm like, I'm not going to make fun of you, man. I'm green with envy. I mean, I'm still using a beam scale and a powder trickler, which is accurate unto itself. But this thing is just awesome.
And I think every reloader should have a beam scale and a powder trickler, because what are you going to do if there's no electricity?
EMP, yeah,
no electricity, exactly. And no battery. What are you going to do?
Right, and he knows how to use that. He's still got that stuff, but for really making a lot of precise rounds fast, that is the absolute shit. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, it's expensive, and yeah, it's out of most of its price range, but wow, what a nice reloading tool. I mean, I'm just very envious. That he got that, and he's got a pretty nice neck turner setup too. So there's not too many people on this panel that have tight necks, or turn brass for consistency, but he's got the best that can be. And he's a diesel mechanic. That's his background. So he buys good tools. We
would get along fine.
Yeah, he buys good tools. So Trent's a winner. He's something else. He's just getting into the precision rifle shooting. He bought all the guns, and then he said, "Oh crap, I don't have the reloading tools to support this." And what do you mean Hornady brass ain't the best of the brass? It's not.
I've got a micrometer. I got a micrometer and caliper set that costs more than both of vehicles in my driveway.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and you might not need that stuff for that, but I told Trent, I said, "Are you going to be in competition, or is your aspiration to be in competition?" And he said, "Well, I'd like to compete a little bit, and this and that." And I went, "Okay, well, if you like to compete a little bit, your mileage may vary, but it's one of those things. You talk to two shooters that have competed in the nationals, and they both told you what powder thrower they use, and you went out and bought it." I said, "You got better watch it." I said, "You're going down a rabbit hole. You can do the same thing with a trickler. It's just you've got the most precise method of powder throwing, and like I say, I'm green with envy. If I could go over to his house and hit him in the head with a claw hammer and steal that thing, I would. But
what is it? What are we talking about?
It's the auto trickler. So the the powder thrower is made in Canada. The scale is made in Japan. It's a medical grade digital scale. So he can actually measure 1 grain of varget and tell you exactly what that grain weighs. And it throws perfect every time.
When he says grain, he means flake.
I mean flake. I don't mean like grain of measurement.
Yeah, I can
Anyway,
measure thicknesses up to that, but I can't measure weights that precise.
No,
10,
I can
100.
I can drop a flake of varget in my scale and tell my scale moved, but I can't tell you how much that grain weighed. I can just tell you it moved.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I can measure down to the 10 thousandths as far as thickness of something, because that matters. That makes a difference between a 200,000 mile diesel engine and a 1,000,000 mile diesel engine.
That's right.
that little bit means a lot.
But with 22 long rifle, to be competitive in that bench rest thing, these guys would buy a pallet of Ely or a pallet of Lapua, test it, find the best lot number, sell the rest, and then order that lot number. You know,
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, but my Lord, at $20 a box, you know, for 50,
Yeah.
potentially it's more expensive than centerfire
Yeah.
bench rest.
We never see it out here in any of the sporting goods shops or the gun shops. They don't even carry it. And we can't order in mail order to the house in California anymore. If you're going to get any of those that are not available any other way, you have to have them sent to your FFL, and he's going to charge you even more for it. So that by the time you get a box of Ely match ammo and into your range bag, it's probably costing you $25. Yeah.
I got 1,000 of these that I want to run through my bench rest rifle. It's a SK Biathlon. Supposed to be pretty good ammo. We'll see.
Yeah, Tommy Boy's right. 20 is cheap for some of the stuff. You look at RWS, it's like crazy.
Yeah, some of that Lapua
Crazy.
is crazy. It's nuts. It shoots, but it's nuts.
We used to go out in the middle of the desert and try to blow through a 550 round thing of 22 in one sitting with a 10-shot magazine, you know, Mark II Ruger 22 pistol. That takes some work. Your thumbs are wore out from reloading them mags.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you're there all dang day for 550 rounds.
That's why
22 mag ammo is costing me more than $20 a box here now. By the time I pay tax and the excise tax that we got to pay, and pay to buy a box of 22 mag ammo that's maybe it's $16.99 or something like that for the box, but we have to pay $5 now for a background check, and you have to pay an 11% excise tax on not only the cost of the ammo, but on the sales tax as well.
That is insane.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yep.
No, it is. It is California. I mean, that's
They
insane.
do everything they can to keep us from shooting.
But the weather's nice.
They got a lot of corruption to pay for.
Yeah, oh man.
I looked
Oh.
up that Prometheus. Uh,
How ignorant is it?
oh, you don't get a price.
You have to go ahead and send them a blood sample to get a prize.
Well, there's an instructional video from Primal Rights YouTube channel that's 46 minutes and 17 seconds.
That's one of those that has the vacuum chamber around it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those are stupid expensive.
But look up Jamie Google auto trickler or Google the best powder dispenser in the world and it'll come up.
I know MacMan's got, I forget what his balance is, but he's got an auto trickler for it also. He's got, that enclosed
Right.
balance that he uses. It's an electronic one, and then he's got a digital trickler of some sort rigged up with it.
It's just not that critical. It's just not that
Yeah.
critical.
No,
It's not the way I shoot it, ain't.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
Really
would I love to have that unit? Lord, yes. But like CW says, it's not that critical.
It's just not that critical. Focus more
Yeah.
on your necks and your brass, and you'll do worlds more than you ever will measure in individual granules of powder. It's asinine in comparison.
Agreed. But I'm already doing that. So then you kind of look at the next step, and you know how we are. We're like, oh man, I could just forego one scope purchase, and there you go. I wish we could reload 22 long rifle, and I know a guy that has with mixed results.
Yeah, that's too much work.
Yeah, it's way too much work.
My time's worth something to me.
Yeah. You're definitely not going to make match rounds with match heads swarming around in the in a fired case. You know what I mean?
I've got scales that can go up to 200ths of a grain, and that's plenty for me.
Oh yeah.
Anything else we need to say about rimfire stuff? It all started with those CB and BB caps, and now y'all sitting here talking about what kind of that high dollar 22 stuff y'all buy. And
Well, I
Mm-hmm.
like shooting 22 Magnum, but it's just getting so expensive now. It's 40, 50 cents every time I pull a trigger for 22 caliber stuff. It's just ridiculous. I've got a nice Ruger rimfire, bolt gun, the RPR, and they're fun to shoot, but it's just expensive. Same thing with 17 HMR, another rimfire round that's gotten real pricey.
Shot some 22 mag in my single 6 the other day. It's a box that I've had for years. Shot a couple rounds out of it, put it back on the shelf.
Yeah, it's just pricey.
My 22 mag likes this stuff. They don't make it no more. Winchester Supreme. I think it's a 30-something grain. Just screaming.
34 grain crimped hollow point.
I think so. Yeah,
That's the
I
good
think
one.
so. It really shoots well. I bought a brick of it and at a gun show and thought, well, I won't have to worry about it for a while. And then they They discontinued it. They stopped making it. I'm hearing the Gold Dot 22 Magnums are pretty bad. CW out of a North American pistol.
My favorite is that CCI segmented.
Yeah, and the Federal 50 grain is not bad out of a little pistol, but a lot of them won't expand really all that good.
Yeah, the 50 grainer, you need a rifle, and even then, it's not explosive.
Right. The Gold Dot actually expands pretty perfect.
It's really good. It's a short barrel friendly bullet.
Yeah.
And it's a Gold Dot, so it's good stuff.
So we're closing in on. We got 5 minutes till the verse of the week. Anything else we need to?
Go for it, Jamie.
You want to start early tonight?
Yeah, we've been late on everything else. Might as well be early on something.
That's right.
Yeah, Glenn said we went off on a different tangent. How'd we get from 22 or rimfire stuff
to auto tricklers? I know. It happens.
It was Rebel's
Hey,
fault.
Rick. It just showed up on my doorstep. I ain't opened it yet. I got a present there from Texas.
Woohoo!
We'll see what it is when the show's over.
Well, I'm glad. Of course, y'all see I just come in and threw my targets down on the bench over there. I still ain't recorded those in my book yet.
How do you live like that?
You don't know, man.
Yeah, I probably do. I was there once.
Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. Verse of the week. Last week we talked about Psalm chapter 9, verses 1 and 2, and we just kind of glazed over that, which is what we're kind of going to do tonight about the next chapter. Psalms chapter 9 starts off, verse 1 says, I will praise you, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will tell of all of your marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. See how glorious and how happy he is to be able to praise God and to rejoice in the Lord's salvation. But look over here when we get to chapter 10. And remember what I said last week about in a lot of circles, this is one psalm. When we get to chapter 10, the 10th psalm, starting with verse 1. Why do you stand afar off, O Lord?
Yeah.
Why do you hide in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride persecutes the poor. Let them be caught in the plots which they have devised. In other words, let their own schemes catch them the way they want other people to be caught. Y'all know I like to share John MacArthur with you. Why? There in verse 1, we have two why. Two whys of lament boldly blurt out the psalmist's question, why, God, why do you remain aloof? And he rattles off a list of other psalms that start the same way. And we've all been there. We all have times in our life where we don't feel like praising God. We don't feel like praying, and we don't feel like studying the Bible. But that's when you need to do it the most, because that's when God's really going to reward you or bless you, when you don't feel like doing those things and you do them anyway. But we've all seen people and have people in our lives where you know they're dirty, rotten, stinking cheaters and scoundrels, and they seem to be living high on the hog with plenty of money, beautiful wife, big nice cars. One of these days that's going to change, and we'll get to that. But yeah, we've all had those times, and the psalmist here starts Psalm 10 in that way. The wicked in his pride persecutes the poor. Doesn't it seem like that? Those people that seem to have it all, don't it seem like they're getting rich off of poor people? Let them be caught in the plots which they have devised. That's some pretty strong stuff. But it don't just stop. It don't stop there. It keeps going. Verses 3 and 4. For the wicked boast of his heart's desire. He blesses the greedy and renounces the Lord. The wicked in his proud countenance does not seek God. The wicked in his proud countenance does not seek God. God is in none of his thoughts. They're not worried about God. They don't care what God thinks. They don't care what God says. MacArthur said there, the wicked's modus operandi is the opposite of what God demands. And he gives us Deuteronomy 25:1. David Guzik there says, why do you stand afar off, O Lord? Here the psalmist asks a question well known to those who follow God. The concern, the anxiety over the seeming inactivity of God. The psalmist felt that God was afar off and did even hide in times of trouble. Charles Spurgeon there, Guzik quotes him. He says, the presence of God is the joy of his people, but any suspicion of his absence is distracting beyond measure. It is not the trouble, but the hiding of our Father's face which cuts to the quick. It ain't the trouble that's so bad. It's that we don't see God coming to help. McLaren there says the word times of trouble, the Hebrew word there was a rare word in ancient Hebrew vocabulary, used only here and in Psalm 9:9. It means a cutoff, the hope of deliverance. It means a cutting off of the hope of deliverance. The notion of distress intensified to despair is conveyed. Man, it's like a drowning person gasping for one more breath of air. You know what? The wicked in his pride persecutes the poor. This explains why the psalmist was so troubled by the seeming inactivity of God. He sees the wicked, proud man who not only persecutes the poor and approves other sinners, because it says blesses the greedy, but he also sins against God. He renounces the Lord and does not seek God. God is in none of his thoughts. So we immediately recognize that anyone who renounces the Lord is sinful, yet the psalmist here puts the one who does not seek God and the one who does not think about God, God is in none of his thoughts, in the same category as the one who renounces God. Men do not seek God. This is a great sin. Men do not think about God. This also is a great sin. Man has obligations to God as his creator and sovereign, and it is a sin to neglect them. Man commits these sins because of his proud countenance, ignoring God as is an expression of our independence and perceived equality or superiority. Woo! That's pretty strong, Mr. Goose. But that's basically what we do when we go about doing things on our own. And it goes on from there, but there's a big turn. If you'll keep reading in verse 10, you get down to verse 12. and it says, "Arise, O Lord God, lift up your hand. Do not forget the humble. Why do the wicked renounce God? Because he has said in his heart, you will not require an account." But in verse 16, it says, "The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations have perished out of his land. Lord, you have heard the desire of the humble. You will prepare their heart. You will cause your ear to hear, to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed. The man of the earth may oppress no more." So remember, God says, "Vengeance is mine, I shall repay." And next week, we're going to tie this together. But y'all can also see uh, why these two psalms would be considered one, because in Psalm 9 we're all about praise and living in the presence of God, and then in 10 it's like, "Lord, how long will you stand off and not do something about these people that are doing people wrong?" He will, don't worry. So we got in Psalm 9 is prayer and thanksgiving for the Lord's righteous judgments. And then 10 is a song of confidence in God's triumph over evil. But my point is, we all have those times. We all go through those seasons, and God knows it and He expects it. But two totally different aspects of prayer and praise and lament. And so that's what I got. Any questions or comments?
No, pretty much so.
No, but it is an interesting contrast between the 9th and the 10th Psalm, like you said, to start off. You know, everything was all, roses and fluff in Psalm 9 compared to how he starts off in 10.
Yeah, they tend to talk about human nature in 10, kind of a abrupt break there.
Let me see. I'm assuming that 10 is a Psalm of David. The song of confidence in God's triumph over evil. It does not say that it is, but we know that, or we reason that 9 was written by him, so we assume that 10 will. Good night, Glenn Davis.
Good night, Glenn. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Good night, Glenn.
Good night, brother.
So I wanted to have hillbilly and maybe Kentucky Rimfire Chad and a couple of those guys tell us about what they're shooting their bench rest stuff, the guns, what they would. I'll try to get in touch with them through the week, but man, that's hard for me to do. I got so much to do around the house, and then I get home I gotta work all the time. That's getting old.
They ain't shooting cheap stuff. They're shooting Lapua, Ely, SK to get
Well, I know.
accuracy.
I know. I'm talking about the guns. What guns are they shooting?
Yeah, right.
Those are not cheap either.
No, they're not. And I've got a couple of really high dollar 22s. But the daggum thing about it is is you're a slave of the ammo. It's not like you can go in and tweak a load or this or that and get your rifle tuned. You have to tune your rifle to a particular ammo, and it kind of sucks. There's a cost to get there, you know.
And it's always going to be inconsistent. Like Tommy Boy said earlier, they make it in 25,000 round
Yeah,
batches.
yep, that's right. So if you're not buying it by the pallet, you're not getting, you and a couple buddies cherry picking the best lot. You're not getting the primo stuff. That's it's just like any other sport. I mean, 22 bench rests can end up being more expensive than 22 center fire, and that's expensive enough on its own to be competitive. So, yeah, I choose to be on the fringes of competitive, and just happy to have some good shooting rifles. That's where I'm at. I think that's where Brian's at. You have some really good shooting rifles. You shoot in a local match and you finish in whatever, but I'm not going for the nationals, for heaven's sakes. So I got a 22 I want y'all to shoot
I think
when you come here in July. That I didn't bring out. I got a couple 22s I want y'all to shoot that are just absolutely awesome. One's a U.S. government H&RM 12, which is a Winchester 52 copy, and one's a custom action with a tuner, and you'll shoot the smallest groups you've ever shot with a 22 with those things. I mean, they're really awesome rifles.
I shot some good groups today, but it wasn't with a 22. I think the key phrase in what you said there is you're slave to the ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
Same thing.
Go ahead.
Same thing with air guns. You got to find a pellet that works, and then you got to tune your gun to get it optimal.
Yep, you got to tune your gun to the ammo. It's not the other way around. With centerfire, you can tune your ammo to the gun. It's weird, and it takes you down a rabbit hole that you don't want to go down. Really, it can cost you a lot of money.
It sure does seem like it.
Yeah.
Good.
My local match, our 50-50, I finished second to a custom CZ, custom barrel CZ, and it mattered about the X's. He had one more X than me, and I was shooting high dollar Lapua ammo, and he was shooting high dollar Ely ammo, and it just mattered about his tune, but it was all about 1X hitting that dot. If y'all aren't familiar with our 50-50, it's a 50-yard target, and the X is a dot. a minuscule dot. So if you hit inside that ring, it's a 10, but you got to cut that dot for an X. And it's pretty difficult.
Apparently, Tommy Boy's done some of that stuff earlier. He wrote in there that he liked SK over all of it. Hey, James Pugh and Dale Pogue. Well, there's a thought.
No, you do worry about that. It's the same, whether you jam it into the lands or not. Figure out what your gun likes.
Well, all my guns, even that old military gun, if you ratchet a shell into it and then take it out, you can see the rifling on the lead bullet. So it's jammed.
Some of your air rifles have adjustable probes to move that pellet in and out.
Right. My custom 22 has a Ely 2 chamber. I've read the specs on that. I didn't realize there were so many 22 long rifle chambers. There's God Almighty, there's 50 of them. I mean, at least, Ely 2, this, that, back, forth. Depends on the ammo you're shooting.
Yeah, bolt action match chamber is different than a semi-auto match chamber.
Yep.
What's one of the things I told him on Hillbilly's live stream one Saturday night? I'm like, y'all spend all that money on them guns and on that ammo, and you have no control over it.
Yeah, being rimfire. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you have no control over making it, but like I've shown with these dies, I just got another new one, and rim thickness and sorting and weighing. You can make things better.
Brian Delic got into the rim thickness, and he really proved to me that it made a difference,
Yeah.
And the other thing is a tuner.
Yep.
a 22 rimfire tuner is cheap compared to a centerfire tuner, and it's amazing what you can do with a tuner. You think, oh, I'm going down a rabbit hole I don't want to go down, but you set that thing at 0, you start shooting, and you start turning it one way or the other. It doesn't matter, which way you turn it. You can see the effects immediately.
Yep.
You turn it 5, and then turn it 10, then turn it 15, and you're starting to see the bullets walk around the bullseye, and finally you'll get to a point to where they're just knocking the same hole.
Heck, those rubber donuts that go on your barrel can make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's all about harmonics. It's all harmonics.
It's exactly.
And did y'all see how Kenny's building rifles now? That you can adjust your headspace for the 22s?
Wow, really?
Yeah. You change it a little piece on the side of it, and it can change it by 1 or 2 thousandths.
Who's making this?
Kenny.
Oh,
Desert Precision.
There's several people out there doing that with 22.
Yeah.
And It's a little controversial, but if it works for folks, fine. It works. I got some.
Just
I
another
got
tuning aspect that you can, your ammo or gun likes this headspace or rim thickness, you can modify it to work with it.
right. I've got some. I've got 3 custom 1022s. The first one I built was for my son, and he won a egg shoot contest with it. And he was shooting against a 16-year-old kid. He was 12. They had a shoot off, and he won a little old trophy. But you would have thought you handed him $1 million. And you think, well, it's a 1022. How accurate can I get it? Actually, you can get a semi-automatic 22 especially a 1022, because there's so many aftermarket things for it. You can get it shooting pretty good. Kid's probably the ultimate rifle, if you buy the whole rifle, in the 1022 line. But bedding a 1022 is the trick. A 1022 only has one action screw, so you think, how do you bed it? And then I started reading guys were bedding it with the aluminum tape. Well, I've got that. I was an HVAC guy, so I tried it, played with it, saw some improvements, and a buddy of mine bought a kid rifle, complete kit, and I outshot him with it. So I guess the bedding makes a difference. It's a tricky thing because there's not a lot of bedding surface for a 1022. It's funny, but mine stays suppressed. It sounds like a Singer sewing machine. Squirrels fall out of trees, and the other squirrels go, "What happened to Fred?" And then I shoot him. It's a wonderful system. I love them, but bolt action is really where it's at.
All right, we got to start going through the room. We got 8 minutes to clear the deck for Chad. Y'all go over and check him out when we're done. I think I'm going to go to bed this evening. Walter, you want to go first, my brother?
Yeah, I can go first. We'll be short and sweet. I got the standard fare that we've been doing for the last umpteen months in a row. So we got Saturday shots tomorrow. That's the shooting clips from the week's Moldy Monday over on the Rumble channel. And we got another good Moldy Monday coming up. We got Wad Cutter Wednesday. I think I got 7 or 8 more Wad Cutters yet to do. So getting closer to the end of that tunnel. And then Free the Few Friday, I got something coming up there for you. And of course, Moldy Monday on, I guess I already said that, over on the Rumble channel. So get to the range Monday and get some more shooting fun in. I don't know what I'm going to shoot. I got a whole bunch of stuff loaded up. So I'll have to surprise you, I guess. and I got a package from Texas. I got to get this package here opened up. I ain't going to say who all it's from, but it's somebody you all know and ought to have respect for. So I'll do a little unboxing video for that tomorrow. That's what we got going on here. Good to be here.
Utmost respect as to you. I want to thank you again. I used the lab radar. again today at the range. And if I ever figure out how to mash all those buttons and create a second string and all that kind of stuff, I'm gonna be in business, man.
Practice with cheap ammo.
Sick. You want to go next?
Sure. We got White Collar Wednesday coming up on my channel. And we're going to actually go shoot cowboy again tomorrow. They moved our second match of the month up a week so that there's a bunch of us going the following week over to Columbus to shoot. So let the club have a big shoot instead of a bunch of people missing. So that's about it for me. So
Thank you for being here, buddy, and thanks for putting that backdrop up for the topic tonight.
so much
Pretty
fun.
cool. Kyle, what you got, brother?
Well, I appreciate everybody in the side chat cutting up. It was pretty explosive tonight. Looking forward to picking up the new to me and Angel Jeep, maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. Not too sure, but yeah, Jamie, next time you're over at the house, you're gonna see a new vehicle on the driveway. She's always wanted one, so we decided to go ahead and get one. So that's pretty much all I've got.
Now everybody send her ducks.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Thanks for being here, Kyle. Rebel, what you got coming up, brother?
Oh, just trying to make a living at the foot of the cross. You know how it is. And groundhog shoot's coming up. I'm busy with that. I'm game. I'm like John Wayne said in El Dorado. He was limping when he left here. He was limping when he got here. That's me. My knee is not good. I got a second injection in it, and it didn't take. It really didn't take. I was using a cane this evening. I made it downstairs because of the ice packs, and I made it back upstairs because of the ice packs. So CW's been through all this. He knows what I'm talking about. It's going to be a little bit. I'm trying to hold out, but I'm probably going to have a knee replacement before too long. And got to get all this stuff ready for the groundhog shoot. It's quite an event. Hopefully I get some help to help me load up the trailer and get everything done. I've got eggs to glue up, because after the shoot, we shoot eggs at 500 yards. And I've been commissioned by the guys that put the eggs up to glue toothpicks on the end of the strings. That way you can stick them up through the hole in the box, and it's easier to thread through. And I was like, okay. So I rigged up a little jig for that. Gorilla Glue, white glue, quick set is your friend. And I'm a pro at gluing eggs. So we'll just see how that goes. I've done made the scoreboard, and my wife's gonna do the score sheets on the computer. She's got pound cakes to bake. She's gonna do this weekend. Sundrop and cheerwine pound cake. Told her not to do too much. Just do what you could and sell what you could. But it's quite an event, and I hope I make it through it, guys. I'm hurting pretty bad, and I'm gimping pretty bad. But I'm a tough old SOB, and I'll try to manage through it as best I can.
You make us want to come to the thing. So thanks for being here, man.
All right.
I know you hurting, and we appreciate you more than you know. Bama Dad, what you got coming up?
Not a whole lot, just some reloading. Got to put my press back together, or powder dropper back together.
I saw some 300 PRC in Academy Sports today for $65 for 20 of them.
My local shop has 6 boxes of Lapua brass 300 PRC on the shelf. No, nothing else. They don't do a lot of reloading stuff. I don't know. Somebody must have ordered it and it's sitting there. I tried to ask the guy.
When they mark it down,
but he couldn't find it. That's what I was hoping. I'll check again.
Hey, if they do, just let me know.
Oh yeah, I will. I was thinking of you.
I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for being here, Bama Dad. CW, what you got coming up, brother?
I have 3 videos next week. I'm gonna finish up with that stiffening of the CZ forend. I got that all wrapped up. And then at the end of the week, I get to the range, and that's that video. And then in the middle of the week, I did an Arca rail on another rifle that I had to do some modifications to put it on. So it wasn't as simple as just screwing a couple of bolts. But I thought that would be interesting, so I made that one up. And that's my 3 videos next week. I got some more stuff coming up. I got two new cartridges to everybody that's listening. Coming up. Most of the guys in the panel already know about what we got here, but we're building the suspense, so I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to wait. But 2 neat ones coming up. And I just want to thank everybody in the side chat and everybody on the panel. Another good chat. We were all over the place as usual, but it was a good chat. It went quick, and good verse of the week, and enjoyed all of it. So again, sorry for being a little late, but I was watching you guys from the start, and looked pretty good. So Jamie, over to you.
Thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you. Let's do this. May the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. We love you and there ain't nothing you can do about it. And if he's willing, we'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say goodnight, y'all.